Hi dear students, today we will study about the origin of the universe, and in this topic we will understand that what were the theories behind behind this topic, origin of the universe. The most important theory that explains the origin of the universe is Big Bang theory. As you know it is also known as expanding universe hypothesis, right? So today we will discuss this topic in detail. So the foremost question before us and before all the scientists and all the geographers was that how did the universe begin? How our universe began? So to solve that problem, there was portrayed a hypothesis that was known as expanding universe hypothesis. Expanding universe hypothesis. And popularly it is known as Big Bang theory. So it is the most important and most popular theory regarding the origin of the universe, right? So how this idea of the law of expansion of the universe was proposed? Actually, this idea was proposed by a priest. So it is really startling that the most important scientific theory regarding the origin of the universe and the idea was put forward by a priest, by a Catholic priest. There was a Belgian Catholic priest named George Lemaitre. In 1927, he proposed that our universe should be expanding. So that was only an idea. And how was it proved? Means scientifically proved. Later on, there was a scientist named Edwin Hubble. As you know that there is an observatory behind after his name. So he proposed the idea of redshift. Redshift. What is this term? Redshift. What do you know? What do you mean of it? Actually, Edwin Hubble, when he was observing the space through his telescope, he saw that few of the galaxies were becoming more towards the red shift, red tint. Means the galaxies, some of the galaxies were emitting a red light, and that indicated that those galaxies are actually going apart from other galaxies. Means the distance between galaxies was increasing. The red shift or the red tint coming from the farther away galaxies was showing that those galaxies are actually going in more and more distance apart from our galaxy, right? So he concluded that the idea which was put forward by George Lemaitre, he proved that idea scientifically, and after that, even Albert Einstein, who was of the view that our universe was a constant. Okay, up to that time, Albert Einstein was of the view that our universe is actually a static body and it is not expanding. But after this discovery of Edwin Hubble, when Hubble proved it through his observation of redshift coming from the distant galaxies, like this is a galaxy and it is emitting a red light. Okay, so he also accepted, means Albert Einstein also accepted that he was wrong in believing in a cosmological constant, and now he also accepted that our universe is expanding. Our universe was expanding, right? So Edwin Hubble was also an important name. So in this lecture, you will come across some of the terminology like this redshift, okay, and some of the persons behind this Big Bang theory, like George Lemaitre, Edwin Hubble. Okay, so Hubble was the person, Edwin Hubble was the person. He was an American astronomer who scientifically explained that the universe is expanding, and through his concept of, it was done through his concept of redshift. So UPSC can ask a question on this concept of redshift. Okay, so keep it in your memory. This was the telescope. This was the area from where actually Edwin Hubble was observing the sky. Okay, so here it is written that 1930 was also the year when Einstein admitted the cosmological constant was his biggest mistake. Means he also accepted the idea of expanding universe, right? And in that way, the Big Bang theory was initiated, and it was believed that there should be a point from where the expansion of the universe should have begun, and that point was named singularity. So again, it was redshift. One of the concept was redshift, and now a new concept of singularity. Singularity. These are the terminologies from where a very good question can be asked, either in prelims or in mains, right? So what was the singularity? Singularity was the point in the space, a point in space-time curvature. Space-time curvature where both density and gravity are infinite. So if today you see that universe is expanding, you can deduce from this fact that there should be a time where all the material of the universe was within a point of infinite density and infinite gravity, and from where you can imagine that the space and time, the concept of space and time should have begun from that singularity. Okay. So you can imagine that singularity like this, and within a fraction of the second, there occurs a big explosion that you call as Big Bang. Big Bang. A big explosion in this. What is this? This is singularity. So in this singularity, there occurred, means it is hypothesized, and now with many evidences, it is now almost proved, almost established that there was a Big Bang, right? So when Big Bang occurred in that singularity, actually after that, the cosmological expansion, the cosmological inflation, actually the term is used, cosmological inflation. This is also a term, means in this lecture you will see many special terms like singularity, like Big Bang, okay, like cosmological inflation. So what is called cosmological inflation? It is just after the Big Bang, just after the Big Bang in singularity, universe expanded in an extraordinary rate within fraction of seconds. So all the cosmos, all the universe which was shrunk in a singularity, it exploded and its size increased in an extraordinary rate, and that process, that event is known as cosmological inflation. You know that inflation is used in your economy regarding an increase in the price rise. When price rises in an extraordinary rate, it is called as inflation. So regarding economy, it is known as simply inflation. But regarding the shape and size of the cosmos, shape and size of the universe, it is known as cosmological inflation. Okay. So this term is related with this Big Bang theory. So in the first fraction of a second of the Big Bang, the universe expanded at an extraordinary rate, and it expanded from the nucleus of an atom to the size of a grain of sand. Means you can compare the rate, okay, from the size of a nucleus of an atom, you can imagine it came to the size of a grain of sand. So this process was cosmic inflation. Okay. When the expansion slowed down, the forces that caused the expansion were transformed into matter and energy to fill the universe. Means after the Big Bang, after the cosmological inflation, there occurred space, time. Before the Big Bang, there was no concept of space, no concept of time, no concept of matter, and no concept of energy. Right? So after the Big Bang came space, time, matter, and energy. Right? So the early universe was extremely hot, dense, and composed of subatomic particles like protons, neutrons, electrons, positrons, neutrinos, and other subatomic particles. When the universe cooled and all these particles fused together, the first atoms were formed, which were mostly hydrogen and helium. You know that hydrogen, even today, hydrogen and helium are the most abundant substances, most abundant particles, gases, which are found in the whole universe, even today. So they are actually the fuel of the stars. Actually, they are the fuel of the stars. You know that stars brighten, stars emit energy only due to the nuclear fusion, only due to the process of nuclear. Two atoms of hydrogen fuse together and they make helium and also emit immense amount of energy, and this process is still going on in our stars like in our sun. Okay, and in that way sun is emitting, sun is producing its energy, right? So the same process was happening at that time, and in that way our stars were being formed, okay, through this process. So as light photons were emitted, the newly formed matter began to contract, and after millions of years, when those light photons were being emitted, the new matter began to contract and condense into various regions of varying density. Regions of varying density. The high density regions collapsed into clouds of gases. Clouds of gases, a new term. clouds of gases and cosmic dust. What it is said? Clouds of gases and cosmic dust, it is known as nebula. Nebula. So technically, there is also a term nebula. So in this lecture, you came across many terms, many new terms, and one of the important term is also nebula. What is nebula? It is the clouds of gases and cosmic dust, out of which many high density regions collapsed, and with this nebula, here in this figure also, you can see the formation of many galaxies, and then they are going apart from each other. Okay. So stars were born around 400 million years after the Big Bang, while galaxies appeared after a billion years, and our solar system after 8.7 billion years after the Big Bang, right? So with the formation of the nebula, in a separate lecture we will cover this nebula in detail under the topic of modern nebular hypothesis, right? So after the formation of nebula, some regions collapsed into it and they formed stars. Then galaxies. Then galaxies went apart from each other, and in that way the process of expanding universe was happening, and it is still happening. Okay. And man means us. The history of man is only like a tiny dot in this cosmic span. Means we are very recent. So you can see that this is like a nebula, like a cloud of gases and cosmic dust. So what are the key evidences? So when we studied this theory, we should know that what are the key evidences behind this Big Bang theory. The first evidence is Big Bang nucleosynthesis. The second evidence is universe is expanding. Nucleosynthesis is what? As I have earlier discussed that two atoms of hydrogen fuse together and make an atom of helium plus immense amount of energy. So this process is nucleosynthesis, means the synthesis of new nuclei, right? Right? Previously there was only hydrogen, but with the synthesis of two nuclei of hydrogen, a new nucleus of helium was formed, and this is called nucleosynthesis. In that way, after the Big Bang, after the formation of hydrogen, several new substances, several new atoms were formed. The second evidence is universe is expanding. How could we know it that universe is expanding? We have also discussed this part also. When Edwin Hubble proved through his redshift analysis, which was occurring in the distant galaxies, the galaxies which were going farther away from our galaxies, they were emitting more amount of red light, and that was known as redshift, and that proved that universe was expanding, right? So this was the contribution of Edwin Hubble. That is why one of the observatories known behind his name, known after his name, right? And the third strong evidence, that is known as CMB, cosmic microwave background. What it is? Evenly distributed cosmic background radiation. We also know that in our kitchens there is microwave ovens, okay, but microwave ovens, they emit that type of energy, that type of waves which can heaten up your pizza, right? But this cosmic background radiation, this is also known as cosmic microwave background, this is too cool. This is actually super cooled around minus 273 degree centigrade, okay, because this is also this is actually reminiscent of the process of the event that occurred during the Big Bang. At that time they are emitted large amount of radiation, but after the cooling effect of so many millions of years, we have only an scattered amount of that cosmic background radiation, and it was actually a decisive evidence in establishing this Big Bang theory, right? So after Big Bang nucleosynthesis and the evidence of redshift, which was explained by Edwin Hubble when he was observing the night sky, the evenly distributed cosmic background radiation. So who were the persons? There were two scientists named as Robert Wilson and Orno Penzias. These two scientists, they were actually there is a small story, short story behind this discovery. Actually, they were working to make some new discovery, okay, and they came across some disturbances regarding a cosmic microwave background, and when they and all of a sudden they discovered that this microwave background was actually a cosmic microwave background, and they were coming from the age, they were reminiscent of the age of Big Bang, okay. So the background of astro microwaves was a sudden discovery done by Robert Wilson and Orno Penzias, and that proved a decisive evidence in establishing this theory, this Big Bang theory. So CMB opened the first big curtain of the mystery of the beginning and expansion of the universe, okay. And for that discovery, actually Wilson and Penzias were awarded the Nobel Prize. Later on, they were awarded the Nobel Prize even. So that was the whole story behind this Big Bang. And in our next lecture, we will discuss about the modern nebular hypothesis, and we will discuss how our planet Earth was formed after the formation of the universe. Thank you.